I'm at City Road. My hearse, my lads, off that. We're just on a funeral. Well, they're just on a funeral. And I thought, well, I'll take my camera. I'm not filming coffin and things like that because obviously it's a private thing. But as you can see, lads are there waiting for family now. That's Trevor and that's David Johnson, aka Fat Lad. Got to talk quietly because service is in there. Hey up, Trev.
Okay.
Okay, this is Grandad. This is veteran at company. So, veteran. Right, I'll catch you later. See you later, David. Alright. See you later, mate. Those two of my lads. And they're gonna, obviously, go back in and take family back to where they're going back to. Hey, hang on a minute. I've just got to pull them 2 pegs down. Hey, told you I was a funeral director, didn't I? So, I know some idiot put on yesterday. Anybody can go in a funeral home and say that they're a funeral director. Oh, I've got to find that little thing now. There's a little thing that goes in there. Where's that gone? Otherwise it will fall out. Where's that ping thing? Carry all sorts and I can never find. I've got one. I even carry a razor. I know today in things having a beard. I think only goats should have a beard. I'm going to put this thing in here. If I can get it in oil. Said I trust at Vicar. I've got it in. That's that done. I'm sorry. Should have done all this before, shouldn't I? Right, that's that done. So, that's it. You cut off for a second. My farm hat. I have it in car all the time. Put my seatbelt on, otherwise they'll be saying, look at him, he ain't got his seatbelt on. Yeah, we're at City Road. Turn that off. On service. What the team is. Like I said, for a lady who we're just doing a funeral for. I've got arrangements to do today, so I'm in and out all day. When I can get to a funeral, I attend. And then I've got Wayne, who's the conductor. He's conducting funerals and rest at team. So it's Tuesday. Don't know what date it is, I better have a look. 19th, and it's 11:04 AM. Thanks everybody for leaving me comments, and I do answer, as you know, whenever I can, when I can find time to answer comments. I do. Let's have a look around the cemetery. So I never drive in and drive out. I know it's crazy, but sometimes there might be something that I need to report back to office. There might be something crazy in it, but in all cemeteries people dump stuff, mattresses and all sorts. And that's not just this cemetery, City Road, it's everywhere. Because cemeteries used to, people had a lot of respect for cemeteries, but sadly today I think a lot of people still have respect, but there's always that minority, isn't there, that don't have respect. So it's always best just to, I've got 10 minutes, it's not a problem to have a drive round, and cemetery staff would pick up on it anyway, but another pair of eyes don't hurt. And if I saw Mick Kerrigan's in charge here, he's in charge of bereavement services, manager, so I could go back and report back to Mick, and everything's alright, everything's sound. I love this job, I do, honestly. It's crazy, isn't it? I do love it. I want to sell my business because I think I've had enough. I really have had enough. If anybody wants to be a funeral director and buy a business, give me a call. Why am I selling it? Well, I think that what happened in Hull has really got to me a lot, to think that that can happen today in England. Who's at fault? Well, first and foremost is that idiot and his daughter who's done that. And then secondly, I blame National Association of Funeral Directors. And why would I blame them? You weren't a member, people will say. And that's what they'll say. Well, he wasn't a member of our organisation. Yes, but he was a member of your organisation, and he only was thrown out because he stopped paying his subscriptions. So you'd been and checked his premises, you'd been and okayed everything. So to me, National Association of Funeral Directors are as bad as what he is. Government, I think they're on my list and all. I know we blame government for everything today, don't we? But they knew years and years and years ago that this industry is unregulated, and you can join a club if you want, like National Federation of Funeral Directors, you can join National Association of Funeral Directors, you can join SAFE. But it's at your choice. And although they've got their rules that they say you have to adhere to, in actual fact, there's no rules. There's none whatsoever. Because all funeral directors do is, majority are undertakers, majority are funeral directors. They're decent people. They're into it because they have a passion for it, looking after people. But just like with police, you know what coppers are like. There's bent coppers. Look at him in London, what murdered that lass. There's coppers in police force who beat the wives up, and it's just horrendous. In every aspect of life, in every profession, you're always going to get someone taking advantage. I think it's called usurping their authority. It's a big word, isn't it, for somebody off Woodthorpe? Don't ask me what it means. Some people say, oh, all funeral directors should have a diploma. They should have a diploma. A diploma's a piece of paper. It means nothing whatsoever. There's only National Association of Funeral Directors that recognise it. And it's only because they can charge a fortune for giving you that piece of paper to say that you know how to be a funeral director. I mean, let's be truthful. I watch Great British Bake Off because Cheryl watches it. It don't make me a better baker. It's just a programme. And that's all they are. They're a set of things that they say, what's answer to this, what's answer to that, how do you do this, how do you do that. It's called serving experience that's important. That's what matters. You can be brainiest undertaker in England, it don't mean that you're going to care. Him in Hull had all his stuff, still did what he did. So your diplomas and all that, what National Association of Funeral Directors say, oh, funeral directors should have a diploma. It's just another way of them getting money. That's all it is. £2,000 or something like that they charge. Crazy. I'm sick of industry, totally, honestly. I'm sick of seeing how people get abused. When death visits someone, a loved one, a family member, a bunch of vultures suddenly fly around that family. This is how I see death and industry. Your doctors, they're up there. Yeah, they're all moaning, we want more money, we want more money. But they don't tell you about the £82 that they get for signing a patient off when they've died in hospital. I know a lot of people is going to criticise me about this, doctors and NHS and all that, but it's true what I'm saying. When it's a cremation, a doctor has to sign the patient off to say, that patient was my patient, I've cared for him in hospital, this is what they've died with, and a signature. Charges £82. Why? It's NHS. Why have you got to pay a doctor? It's a very good question. Well, that patient is no longer on NHS. They've become a private patient. You're only entitled to National Health Service while you're alive. The minute you die, you're no longer on National Health. So doctors can make a charge. So yeah, they don't get a lot of money, and I get that, and I know that. But take that into account as well. And pre-COVID, there were 2 doctors' signatures required. £82 each. Families had to pay. Now it's just 1. So doctors are up there. And then you've got your crematoriums, your councils, your private companies what run crematoriums. I mean, a cremation here is about £1,000 on average, just for your cremation. Your cremation in your chapel, your bereavement officer, £1,000. I don't know what the actual figure is now for a cremation to take place in England, but I had it on good authority, and I've got to be careful because I don't want to get anybody into any trouble. It used to be about £30 it costs. Well, take into account that, yeah, how a cremation works is they turn the gas on in the morning, the ovens basically, because that's all they are, a big furnace, and they get them up to temperature. And they build it up to that temperature, 1400 degrees. Once it's got up to that, a cremator is just a big brick furnace. That's all it is. They slide the coffin, open door, put the coffin in, and then they turn the gas basically off. The bricks are red hot, the coffin catches fire. It takes about 20 minutes for a coffin to totally burn away and go. And then it's just obviously a loved one who will spontaneously combust and basically burn themselves. Towards end of process, they might have to put heat on then, the flames basically, to burn last remnants off. Usually it's brain and things like that, just to finish off. And you do get your loved one's ashes back. You get, unless you live in Hull. And I'm not being disrespectful when I say that, because that bit of what he did, I can never forgive the man for. And everybody else will be the same. Because a family have to know that when you get Auntie Joyce's ashes back, they are them ashes. And when they leave the crematorium, every step's been taken that you do get them, and the funeral director or the family is given them ashes back. But that's something else that he fell down on. Just unreal. I'm going to have to open this window. That's it. Window. You have to turn it on to open the window. Gone at days when you had an angle where you wound it. So yeah, this bunch of vultures flies round this grieving family. Funeral directors, florists, speakers, celebrants, vicars and priests. They all have a charge what they want to do. We want this, we want that. And funeral directors aren't really funeral directors. I'm a tax collector. That's what I am. I'm basically a tax collector. So I go and I said this to the family, it's going to cost you £3,000 for a cremation. With your hearse and your limousine and your coffin and your cremation fees, doctor's fees, speaker's fees, our fees, about 3,000 quid. But a big percentage of that, £1,000 straight away, is for Sheffield City Council. That's for cremation to take place. So give them that. And then you've got all the rest of your stuff coming out. Your coffin, you've got your bearers, my lads, wages. You've got your doctor's fees. You've got everything else, everything to pay out. And what's left is yours. And it's a lot less than 3,000 quid. I think it's about £800–900 that you've got. Well, that's good. I think that's brilliant. Not a problem at all with that, because you've got to then think about your business, your insurance, your vehicles, your uniforms. That's all got to come out of that as well. Your gas, your electric, loads of stuff. You might need a stretcher, you might need to get some more equipment. It's all got to come out of that. So that just goes in bank. That's how it works. Funeral industry. I'm pretty sick of it at the moment. Because if you get a family, and we get them, what don't pay, I know people say, so they're not going to pay for a funeral. It happens a lot. It happens a lot in this industry. Or they'll say, oh, we need to set a payment plan up. We'll give you £5 a week. And they don't pay it. I ain't got a broker's license, you can't do that. You're paying within 30 days at date at funeral. We don't ask for a deposit, you pay within 30 days. That's it. But then they might not pay. So you're out of pocket. Because that doctor at hospital still wants his money. So you got to pay him. Crematorium, Sheffield City Council, still want their grand for cremation. You can't go back to them and say, well, family aren't paid. Don't matter. Simon Oakes, who was on service today, he needs paying. Just because I've been let down, don't mean that I've got to let everybody else down. So he's paid. Bearers, my lads, mortuary staff, Dave Hemmingham. Coffin manufacturer, still got to pay for that coffin. So if that family don't pay you, that's not good. Because you've got to pay it. Somebody's got to pay it. Funeral director has to pay it. Why is that? That's not fair. We all know it's not fair. Maybe it's time that councils started invoicing families direct for the cremation. Because then I could do a funeral for £2 grand. 3, yeah, £2 grand. It's £3 grand now, £2 grand. Council can go and get that money. The sends, I'm not collecting it for you. You'll go and get it off that family. Doctor at hospital, you send them a bill for £82. Speaker, 200 quid. You send them a bill for 200 quid. Coffee manufacturers, 300 quid. Why have I got to buy it? It's not for me. Send bill family. If we did it that way, funerals are only about 800 quid. That's what I can do a funeral for. All the extras are what we put on it. And him in all, it's just been creaming it all off and not paying no. It's not even been paying cremation fees. It's just been scooping money off him and his daughter. Unreal. I'm passionate about what I do. I love what I do. It's my life. It's all I've ever wanted to be, a funeral director. But I'm that sick now with what's happened. It's like a light's gone out. Crazy. I used to hold my head up and say I'm a funeral director, and I don't now. I don't, because our industry's going. Well, watching a funeral director, Yorkshire funeral director, yesterday on YouTube, TikTok or whatever it were, TikTok. No, it was YouTube. And he's always smart, this kid. He's got a beard. He's a bit like a caricature. So if you're on this, if you see my thing, mention, come on and say something. He's very informative. I think he was talking about body fluids leaking yesterday when I was watching him. He looks very uncomfortable. He's always tarted up. And he's either in office. I think he was on a repat as well. He was down country somewhere giving a shout out to some women at a funeral home. So I was just flicking through and I saw it come up, Yorkshire funeral director. I thought, no, what's he on about, Yorkshire? I'm Yorkshire funeral director. What's he on about? So there goes Yorkshire funeral director. I've given you a shout out. I wonder how you feel about industry. I wonder if you're as disheartened as what I am, and I wonder if there's any other funeral directors that this has had a great effect on us. It's like we get a kicking for basically doing no wrong, and I think I'm fed up with that kicking when you've done no wrong. There's trust and it's gone. There's no trust anymore in this industry. People are now wondering, I wonder if they did cremate my mum. And that's terrible. That is terrible. One bit of advice I would give you is, be very careful who you choose as your funeral director. And especially if a member of your family is having one of these cremation directs, because anybody can say, they can put it on internet and say, oh, I'm a funeral director. We do cremation directs. He just pays this money, we'll pick your loved one up and we'll take them and cremate them. Be careful, for God's sake. Paul Keaton. Be right careful who you choose. Go to your local undertaker. Go to your local funeral director. Never mind all them online doing it. He's learning somebody to drive, I think. Just be careful. Go and speak to your local funeral director. They all do this simplicity funerals, what you see on telly. All funeral directors do that service. Go and speak to your local one and ask his advice. Talk to him. So that's about it. Thought I'd put something on. I might even put something else on today. I might go and get Dave Emmingham and put something else on. I better go. So everybody, I would love you to press subscribe if you want, because it's brilliant to see channel growing, and the more it grows the more we put on. Press like on what I've put if you like what I've put, and leave me a comment, and I'll answer you. I'm sorry I don't talk right posh. I know Yorkshire funeral director talks quite posh. I was listening to him yesterday, and he's a nice kid, and he does talk quite posh. He was singing on this other one, like a bit like opera, or pretending he was singing. Can't do that, you know. To be Chaz and Dave with me or something like that. Rabbit. I'm not into opera at all. No, that's not me. So I'll put some else on later on. Oh, I got slated yesterday for going in a charity shop. I'll tell you about that later. No, I'll tell you now. I went to Woodhouse and I was going for some bread cakes. They call TV rolls, Lickland. Paul Meadows started them off, a baker. Meadows Bakery, best bakery in Sheffield, Paul. And
they sell them at Woodhouse, and I went into butchers at Woodhouse and I got 3 packets dripping. £2.75 for a tub of dripping. It's crackers, isn't it? You know what I mean? Anyway, I got 3 tubs of dripping, one for me and one for old Trevor, we've just seen, because him and his missus likes dripping, Barbara. So I gets this dripping and a packet of brackets, and as I was coming out at butchers, there's a little shop at Woodhouse. It's a charity shop, changing hands. They're brilliant.